Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic and a puzzle I am really looking forward to trying. This puzzle is called Around the World in 80 Days, the Sudoku. It's by Liam McGee, for whom I gather this is their first ever Sudoku creation. That is quite incredible. And of course, from the title, this puzzle is based on the fantastic Jules Verne novel in which Phileas Fogg attempts to win a bet by travelling around the whole of the globe in 80 days or less. Which, I mean, I'm sure most of you know the story already. But this, the rule set to this at least seems to really be redolent of the book, and there's even a bit of a preamble in the rules to tell you a bit about the background. So I think Liam has probably done a very excellent job here, and this should be very, very good to solve. It's only got 2 stars out of 5 for difficulty as well, so hopefully we'll be in with a chance of getting this done in slightly less time than yesterday's Summetry puzzle by Kaktuslav took me, but that was a magnificent Sudoku. So if you like your Sudokus hard and brilliant, check that puzzle out. I'll try and remember to put a link to that on the screen. What else can I tell you about? Let me just think. I've got no birthdays to do today. So if you have sent in a birthday announcement late and I haven't done it, then I will try and catch up. Do not worry. Over on Patreon, you've still got loads of days left. If you'd like to win the chance to come onto the channel and appear in a video, you can have a go. Oh, I should be able to show you a picture, actually. Hopefully. Is it this one? Yeah. The No Trump Games Sudoku Hunt. 9 puzzles themed on playing cards. Feedback so far has been very good, so I think you'll enjoy those. Do have a go. So I say the closing date's 20th. That's over on Patreon right now. And is there anything else I meant to mention? There almost certainly is, but I can't think what it is. So why don't let's get into Phileas Fogg's journey. So this is how the rules start. They say London, 1872. Phileas Fogg wagers a fortune that he can circumnavigate the globe in just 80 days. Unbeknownst to him, a detective named Fix, convinced Fogg is really a bank robber fleeing the country, has resolved to stop him. Will he be successful? Discover Fogg's route around the globe and tally the days to find out. This is just a superb idea. Right, we've got rules. It says normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column. Whoopsie, and every 3x3 box. Then we've got Fog of War. Fog, of course, having double G. The grid starts partially obscured with fog. Okay, yes, there's only some cells visible. Placing enough digits correctly will lift Fog from an adjacent box. Is that adjacent to this or this? Don't know. We'll have to work it out. White crop key dots. I can see one partially hidden here. Cells with a white dot are consecutive. Oh no. Oh no. All white dots are given. That's a negative constraint. Okay. So what that means is, for example, if this cell here, I don't want to put 2 in case it happens to be right, but if this was 2, because there is no white dot in this domino, this cell could not be 1 or 3, and actually neither could this one. So negative constraints, we don't see them very often on the channel, but there is one today. Killer cages. If a cage has a number in its top left cell, digits in that cage sum to it. Okay, so it's just normal killer Sudoku rule. So those 3 digits sum to 9. Detective Fix. In box N, Fix is disguised as digit N. Fix cannot be in a cage, but must be orthogonally adjacent to one in the same box. Okay, that is a strange rule. So the way I'm reading that, which could be wrong, is that, I mean, this I would normally say was box 1, box 2, box 3, etc. Let's look at this box then. So box 4. In box 4, Fix is disguised as the digit 4. Fix cannot be in a cage. Well, I don't know if any of those are in cages, because obviously that's under Fogg. But let's say there was no cages in these cells. So fix cannot be in it can't be in a cage, but must be orthogonally adjacent. So if, and it's a big if there's no cages in these cells, then I think the digit 4 in box 4 is in one of the green cells, because it has to be orthogonally adjacent to a cage, is how I read the rule. That is a very unusual rule. Oh, there's quite a lot more rules, actually. Path around the world. Draw an orthogonally connected path to form a loop which visits every box at least once. We've got to go into every box of the puzzle, and never forms a 2x2 block. So we couldn't have a path that did, you couldn't have a path like that, because obviously that is very much occupying a 2x2 block. Across the whole loop, the path passes through exactly one fixed cell and exactly one cage cell, so very few cage cells. They need not be in the same box. Additionally, every cell with a white crop key dot is on the path. So these two have got to be on the path. Although not all path cells need a white dot. Okay. So I'm just mulling. The reason I've paused there is I'm just mulling whether that is possible. Because in that configuration, both of these... it might not be... Are we allowed to go into a cage? Oh, we might be, actually. Hang on, I've got to get these rules clear in my head. But obviously those two cells are both on white crop key dots. Or they're on that single white crop key dot. Every cell with a white dot is on the path. I don't know. I think that might be possible. So just because there's a white dot doesn't mean the path goes necessarily through it. It means that both of these cells are on the path, but we don't quite know whether they're connected, is how I read the rule. Total days. Digits on the loop count the days of Fogg's journey. The sum of these digits will therefore show whether Fogg succeeds in circumnavigating the globe in 80 days. This is a brilliant idea. Note, you should not assume the sum is 80, or any other total, for he might not make it in time. That is for you to find out. Okay, so we're going to find out whether Phileas Fogg... I mean, I do know what happens in the book, but... okay, hang on, let's keep reading the rules. Crossing the international date line. Any digit in a cell in which the path and red line strictly intersect and are not merely tangential does not count toward the sum to account for crossing the international date line. Oh, I see. So there's going to be an international date line. It's probably a vertical line, isn't it? In this grid. So let's say there was a line there that was the international date line, and then the path went, whoopsie, the path did that. That is an intersection. And whatever digit was in that cell wouldn't count for the total sum of the green line, is how I read that rule. And they are all the rules. There's quite a few rules, but I forgive Liam that. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. The first thing I've thought of as we were going through the instructions is that this negative constraint, all white dots are given. So if we think about a 15 sum, that could either be 7-8 or 6-9. But in this puzzle, for it to be 7-8, there would need to be a crop key dot because they are consecutive. So I think that's a 6-9 pair, which puts a tiny bit of pressure on the 9 cage. A 3-cell 9 cage, normally there are 3 ways of doing it. One way is 2, 3, 4. That's still probably an option, although we'd have to be careful with the white crop key dot. Because where would you put the 3 in that? Wherever you put even if you put the 3 on one of the ends, it's going to be next to a 2 or a 4 without a white dot. So no, that's ruled out by the negative constraint. 1, 2, 6 won't work because we've used the 6 in the 15 cage. So this is 1, 3, 5. And let's actually fill these digits in then. 2, 4, 7, 8. And again, we're still going to have to be careful with the 7 and the 8 in these positions and making sure they are not forming a domino. So in other words, that digit can't be 7 or 8, can it? Because if that was 7 or 8, we know one of those would be a 7 or an 8 without a white dot. So this is definitely 2 or 4. And if that was... I'm wondering about the 1, 3, 5 here. If this is 2, one of those is going to be 1 or 3. And if this is 4, one of those is going to be 3 or 5, or possibly both. But either way, the white dot rule doesn't work. So this is 7 or 8. See, this one could be 2 if this was 5, and this could be 4 if this was 1. Okay, all right. So I might be wrong, but I don't... oh, maybe we'll check the 13. The 13 cage isn't under pressure. Oh, I suppose it can't be 6, 7. There's no white dot. So it's either 4, 9 or 5, 8. So if this was 4, this would be 8, 5 in that order. Otherwise, there would be a white dot there. Is there some problem with this digit being an 8? That would be a 6. That's 7. That's 9. So it's either 8, 6 or it's 7, 9. I don't know. Let's go and read the... oh, there's the detective fix rule. I've not even thought about that. That's box 7. In box 7, fix is disguised as a 7, so fix is in one of those, not in a cage. Fix must be orthogonally adjacent to a cage in the same box. So the 7 could never have been there because that would have been orthogonally adjacent to a cage not in its own box. So in fact, that takes us nowhere. We know one of these cells is detective fix. Any of those cells are orthogonally adjacent to a cage in the same box. So I don't think we learn anything from that. So it must be the path then. The path visits every box at least once. So whatever the path looks like, you know, it couldn't be, it could be some, no, it could be, oh, we've got to be a bit careful actually. I do have to be a bit careful. I want to get it into the middle box without, it can't go diagonally. No, it can't, it has to move orthogonally from cell to cell. Anyway, I think I've messed this up a bit. So let's actually send it this way in order to allow it. Oh no, I've really messed it up. I wanted to try to get it in the middle box. And I've failed miserably, haven't I? Oh, bobbins. How about that? And then whiten this as well. And then don't keep that like that. How about that? Has that gone into every box without a 2x2? Maybe. So something like that is a possible. Across the whole loop, we only go through one fixed cell. We only go through one cage cell. Oh, yeah, okay. And every white crop key dot was on the path. So we do know that those two are on the path. Although we don't really know the order. No, okay, so I've missed something here, haven't I? Because this hasn't got me enough to start the puzzle. Okay, so what have we missed? Cells with a white dot are consecutive. Well, I mean, it can't be this digit. It's not. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's this box. The fix thing. If this was 4, 9, in box 4, the 4 would then be in a cage, which it's not allowed to be. Right, so this is 5, 8. This is now 7. That might... no, it didn't clear Fogg. Okay, but that is the fixed digit, isn't it? So we better give that its own colour, because it's the 7 in box 7. So this is now 9 to avoid a 7-6 without a white dot. This is now 6. It's still not clearing the fog. These are all even. The 6 means this can't be a 5 because of the white dot rule. This can't be an 8 now because of it would have to have a white dot with the 9, so this is the 8. And there we go. Finally, I managed to clear the fog. Okay, so this is going to be to do with the 8 in this box, which can't go in the 12 cage, is it? Because that's the 8 in this box is the fixed digit. Actually, hang on. All white dot cells are on the path. So actually, here now, this cell cannot be on the path because it would make a 2 by 2. And so I think the path's going to have to do this now. Probably. Maybe I have a different color then for cells on the path. I'm not sure. I'm not sure quite. Right, this digit is 1, 3, or 5. So this digit is 2, 4, or 6. This digit is 1, 3, or 5. It can't be 7 or 9. So we've sort of got an oscillation of parity, which is always going to be the nature of consecutive digits, isn't it? Now, can we do anything clever with that? Let's go back to thinking about the 8 then. We know this can't be 4, 8 because fix would be in a cage. So, there you go. If that was 8, what would we put on the Kropki dot? This would be a 7 or a 9, which it can't be. So 8 is placed. So that's an 8. That's the purple in this box. Is there one fin digit in every row? No. Okay, I was wondering whether I could now assume that the 9 was in this row, whether every row had to have a fixed digit, but no. So this is now either 3, 9 or 5, 7. And that is never 7 or 9 because it would be next to the 8 without a dot. So this is always 7 or 9. And this is 3 or 5. So we've got a 1, 3, 5 triple now in the box. That's come out of nowhere. So where do we put 2 and 4 in the box? They've only got 2 homes. One of them is there, and this is the other home. So this digit is now a 1, 3 or a 5. And I've got a 1, 3, 5 triple in row 8. And these digits here are from 6, 7 and 9. Right, so one of these is a 6, but there is no white dot. So the 7 cannot join those cells. Oopsie. So the 7 is definitely here, I think. So this is 7. This is 5. It's not clearing fog yet. If this was 4, it wouldn't work, because it couldn't be consecutive with the 1 that's on one side of it. So this is 2, this is 4. So this is now not 1. And hopefully this is going to do something. I'm just trying. Oh, the 4 and the 3 wouldn't go together, would they? Because there's no white dot. So that's 1. That's 3. It's still not given up its secrets. Look, this is now not 1 anymore. Oh, this isn't 5. So this is 5. Yes, I was thinking, please clear the fog now. So we're going to be thinking about 9 in this box, aren't we? Because that's going to be 9 is now ruled out of a lot of positions. So 9 has to be in one of those cells. Actually, look, that's a 6-9 pair, so not that one. So 9 is in one of those two. So there are 2 fixed digits in row 9. We can probably do some Sudoku, I think. 1, 5, 7 here. And this row needs an 8. It's very difficult to put the... it's impossible for the 8. Yeah, where's 8 in row 8? If the 8 was in the 14 cage, the other 3 digits in the cage would be 1, 2, 3. And that 3's definitely not in the cage, so the 8 must go there. And this digit's therefore a something, aka a 6. So we can't have 7 in the cage now, because the other 2 digits in the cage would have to add up to 1. So this is a 7. Now this is a 9, to avoid it being next to a 6 with the negative constraint. And these cells are 2, 4, 9. Right, well this can't be 2 or 4, so that's got to be the 9. And now these are 2 and 4. Now right, the negative constraint means this can't be 5. It would be next to 6. I didn't clear the fog. I was sure that was going to clear the fog. Oh dear. That's bad. That is bad. Okay, so it's just the maths. Okay, we've got 12, so it's 2, 4, and that clears the fog. And we get some more path cells, look. Now, okay. I mean, I don't think the path is definitely in this 3. If it was to go into the 6, it would take a second cage cell, which it's not allowed to do. Oh, we should purplify the 9. Or maybe we just look here. So we know the 6 isn't in the 18 cage. And we do see the whole of this box. So we know the 6 must be in one of those positions. And it can't be next to a 7 without a white dot. It can't be next to a 5 without a white dot. And if it was here, this would be 5. It would have to be 5 because 7's gone. Okay, so... don't know. And 4 in this... we can't assume anything. We do not know where the cages go there. So I think it is. I think there's going to be something we have to do with this congregation of digits. 18 can, or could, if that 6 hadn't been outside the cage, it could have been 5, 6, 7. Although actually without any white dot, that wouldn't have worked, would it? Because the 6 would have been next to a 5 or a 7 anyway. So what is the 18? If it's not 5, 6, 7, it's got to have an 8 or a 9 or both in it. And it can't be 1, 8, 9, because the 1 would go here by Sudoku and the 8, 9 would be together and not have a white dot. So it has exactly 1 of 8 and 9 in it. Now, if it had 8 in it, it would need 2 more digits that sum to 10, which could be 3, 7 if the 7 and the 8 were kept apart. Or it could, no, it couldn't be 1, 9. So, okay, so it is a bit restricted if 8's in it. It would have to be 8 here, 3 here, 7 here. Now, does anything break there? I don't think so. Okay, so there's one option, I think, if 8 is in the cage. Now let's think about if 9 is in the cage. If 9 is in the cage, it's in one of these 2 cells. And we need 2 more digits in there that add up to 9. So we can't put 3 in the cage then, because the 6 isn't available. It can't be 1, 8 for reasons we've already talked about. So if 9 is in the cage, it's either 2, 7 or 4, 5. 4 and 5 would have to be kept apart. So the 9 would be here, with the 4 chaperoning the 4 and the 5. Or it would be 2, 7, 9. And I don't think there's... oh, this would be a 2. Wow. Wow, okay. So that is a bit distressing, actually, because I am not seeing, at first blush, what I'm meant to do with that. Oh, that would be a 2 by 2 on the path, if that was on the path. Yeah, I mean, the path, maybe we think a bit about the path just for a moment. I was worried before that the path could do something like this around a white dot. That's not going to work here, because if the path does this, it would have to go there, and then it would have to go there, because it couldn't go into the 9, and that would put it in 2 cage cells. So I think the path does do that. If it goes down, it couldn't go right, so it doesn't do down, so it does go there. Maybe we can force some things about the path. If the path goes down again, that's not going to work, because it would have to turn into the fixed cell, but we know it's taking the 3, so that would be a 2 by 2. If it goes up into the 9, no, it's going to get, it would have to do that, and then it's broken again. So it does go straight in there. If it goes up there, to take this cell, it would have to turn down, which would create a 2 by 2, or turn up, which would create a 2 by 2. So it does do that. So we have got quite a bit of the path built. It is sort of as we might have expected. There's been no sign of an international date line yet, though, has there? And there's been no... It's quite interesting as well. Look at the digits that are on the path. They're all really low, which I guess is what we would have expected. Because to actually keep a looped path in a Sudoku down to anything like 80 in terms of the digits on it, that feels quite difficult to me. Okay, right, maybe we do Sudoku. 5s and 8s are up there by Sudoku. So these digits... I don't know, it must be this box over here. I just don't see how... If from the 3... I think we have to go up to the 7. Because if we go, let's just think that through. If we go down, we've used a fixed cell, we'd have to go this way. And now we're in a cage and can never have a second cage, so we can never get out. So we can't go down. If we go there, we are always taking another cage cell to get out of this position. And it might not be immediate, but we are going to take a second cage cell. So we must go up. Now we don't take a 2 by 2. If we go that way, we take 2 cage cells. So we must go up again. And now if we do go into a cage cell and leave this isolated, we're going to have a 2 by 2 somewhere. So we do go there. Now, what does that mean? So now the path has gone into box 5. I think it's probably going to do that, but probably what it's going to do is not actually the same thing, is it, as being logically what it must do. Let's get rid of the green colouring now, because that's... Oh no, it might still be serving a purpose in box 7. Right, which bit of the rules have I forgotten now? Sorry. The total... It can't be the total days yet. No, I think there must be more I can glean from how this... I might have to fully pencil mark this 18 cage and really think it through in terms of what it's got in it. Or are we saying there's some sort of... I mean, if this was a pair of digits that were sort of consecutive, there might be some restriction on this. I suppose it can't have 7 on it. Or 9. Right, there's no 7 or 9 on this Kropki dot. So its odd digit is 1, 3 or 5. Now where is that odd digit? Don't know. But I mean, if we were going to be pedantic, because the highest odd digit it can have on it is 5, these are selected from quite low digits, and we know this isn't 6, and we know this isn't 3 because of the position of the 6 here. Now, this can't be 4. So if this was 5, can that be 6? Yeah, that's a shame. If this is 5, can that be... Right, it can be. If this... Okay. Is there anything else we can glean from this? If that was a 5... Oh, maybe I know whether this is 2 or 4. Or do I know... If that was 5... That would have to be 2. This would have to be 4 by the negative constraint. That's 6. I don't know. Right, so we are going to have to think this through. Oh, 8. 8 can't be there because this can't be 7 or 9. There's going to be some reason 8's forced into this cage. Now, what is that reason? In fact, there's no 8 on that dot at all. So 8 is either exactly here, or it's in the cage with 2 digits that sum to 10, which we worked out had to be 3, 7, didn't we? And we said that the 3 and the 7 would be here in this order. So I think, so 8 is in one of those 2 positions in the box, definitely. And therefore this digit couldn't be 7 or 9, but we already knew that. This digit can't be 7 or 9. So maybe the fact this can't be 9 does something in this box. Shall we think that through? I think we have to. So 9, if 9 is in the 18 cage, I know it's not 1, 8, 9, because the 1 would have to go here, and this would be an 8, 9 pair. So if the 9 is in this cage, it's in one of these 2, and it would have to be there now. That's the only place it could be. And that rules out 4, 5 as an option, because they would now be domino. That's really quite interesting. So if 9 is in this cage, it goes with 2, 7. So that would be 9. So it is restricted. So this is either 9, 7, 2, or it's 8. What did we say? 3, 7, which would have to be that way round. So this cage is very, very restricted. Now, does that allow us to make any deduction at all? Please let me. There must be something there, mustn't there? I know there's something there. I just can't see what it is. So if that's 8, that's 9. Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, I mean, you really have to work on this cage. This cage is very subtle, I think. Right, if this is 8, then this 18 cage needs a 9 in it, which is going to have to go here with a 7 here, and the 7, 8 pair there is not going to have a dot, and it should have a dot. So the 8 can't be there, which means the 8 is here. And this is therefore a 3, 7 pair, and we know the order. It's not clearing Fogg, which is slightly worrying. Oh, I see, but I'm getting these as a result of that. No, I thought that would definitely clear the Fogg. Right, 8's in one of those. This can't be 8 because that would be 7 or a 9. So this is an 8, and that's not cleared the Fogg. Okay, there's an 8 up in one of those. There's a 7 in one of these by Sudoku. That's very distressing. What on earth is going on? That can't be 6. I hadn't realised there was a 6 looking at one of the cells I'd pencil marked 6 into. So if this is 6, that can't be 7. This is 5. 6, 5. that would be 5. And that would be 6. So you get 2 6s there. Oh, that doesn't work. I mean, well, that's viciously difficult. That cannot... I mean, I can see that doesn't work, but that feels like... That's quite hard to see, is what I'm going to claim. Right, here's a simpler point then. Where are 4 and 5 in this box? And the answer is not there. They can't be in this domino, can they? Because that would be terrible. They haven't got a white dot between them. So one of them must be there. So this digit is a 4 or a 5, which means this digit is not a 1 or a 2. Now. Okay. Now, let me just think about this. Maybe there's a way that we can get it so it's much harder for this to be a 6 now we've restricted this. So if this is 6, this is 5. And this would be 3 or 6. But by Sudoku, this would be 5. So this would be... It is easier to see it now. It is easier to see it. So what we have to think through is if this cell is a 6, what's this digit? So I'll put them in little digits. If this is 6, this can't be 7, so it would be 5. Now this digit, well, the point is Sudoku now puts this as a 5, and this has to be consecutive with 5, so this is 6. And why doesn't this work is then the trickiest, even trickier question still. Where's 6 in this row? It's not there. It's going to have to be there. There's clearly no white dot, and there should be. So this can't be the 6 that we're looking for. That cell there. So this cell is not 6. This cell is 6. Oh, there's the date line. The date line's diagonal. That's comedy. Oh, hang on. Oh, so this thing must be because we're trying to limit the path to just one cage cell. Right, hang on. And that's definitely a purple. Oh, it's also going to affect the positions of 5, isn't it? Right. So where... This can't be 5 now in box 5 because it wouldn't be orthogonal to a cage in its box. So the 5 in this box is in exactly one of those 2 cells. And that can still be 4 or 5. Oh, but look, we've got... This cell is definitely on the path now. So this cell is definitely not on the path, because that would be a 2 by 2 of path. If the path went straight on here, it would turn there as well, and that would make a 2 by 2. So it goes up. If it turned there... You know, it's whether things like that are possible. I don't just want to assume you can go through the white dots. I think we probably are going to go through them, but I shouldn't make the assumption. So 5 is now in one of those cells by Sudoku from this pencil mark. And we haven't yet gone through any fixed cell, have we? Let me just... What was the rule about the fixed cells? There was something about... Across the whole loop, the path passes through exactly one fixed cell and exactly one cage cell. They need not be in the same box. Additionally, every cell with a white dot is on the path, although not all path cells need a white dot. Okay, so what do you think we look for now? I haven't not got a Scooby-Doo, but... We could probably pencil mark these cells, 4, 5, 8, 9. I mean, there are going to... Yeah, this can't be 4 because of the 3 beneath it. And 8 and 9 are going to have to be kept apart, aren't they? We're going to have to chaperone those. So if this was 5, that would be 8, 9, that would be 8, 9, and this would be 4. If this was 8 or 9, this would be 4 or 5. and that would be 4 or 5. So they're sort of going to be in pairs that are disparate in the column. Can that be a 4? If that's a 4, this is 3 or 5. It's not 5, it would have to be 3. Oh, and actually there's a sequence there, aren't they? These have the same parity. Ooh, it's almost very hard for this to be even, look. It sees 4, 8 and 6. So for this to be even, it has to be 2. Now, but I suppose 2, 1, 2 doesn't add many cells to the path in terms of those three. If this is odd, actually this is very, yeah, okay. If this digit here is really restricted either way, whether it's odd or even, because if it's odd, it can't be 3, 5, 7 or 9, so it's 1. So it would have to go 1, 2, 1. That's even lower on the path then as a sequence. Now, is there anything glaring that's wrong with a 1, 2, 1 path? I can't see anything wrong with that. Okay, now if this is even, on the other hand, this is 2. And then this would be 1 or 3, both of which might be possible. And this would be 2 or 4. Again, both of which might be possible. Which is incredible. I don't know then. That's bizarre. I bet this is a 1. That's my feeling. It's going to go 1, 2, 1. Is there anything else we can do with that knowledge, though? Is there any negative constraint we can gain? Where is 9 in this row? It can go here, I think. Otherwise, because it couldn't go next to the 8 is all I was wondering. Where's... No, 7's already appeared. What about... Okay, no, that doesn't work. Okay, I don't know then. It's not going to be the path, and it's the dateline. What was the dateline rule? It just means this cell doesn't get counted. Whether Fogg succeeds. The video is still, yeah, this video is fine. That's fine. And we haven't at the moment gone into any cage. See, if I could get the path into a cage, that would be very helpful. Let's not count towards the sum. What do we think? I don't know. No, I'm sorry. I know I should be able to see what to do here, but I can't. That digit, if it was 1 or 2, would have to go in that cell. But again, it seems all right to me. It must be this funny rule. I was going to say, where's 5 in this box? It has 2 possible places. 7 and 9 in this box. 7 can't go there. That's nearly... Oh, no, yes, where's 7 in box 5? It can't go next to the 8 at all. So it's placed. Right, hopefully that's going to clear Fogg. No, of course it's not. 7 is in one of those cells, not next to the 8. Maverick's flying over, so what a treat for us. Where's 6 in this box now? Can't go next to 7, so this is great. That's got me a 6 here, which means this is 5, not 4, which means this is not 5. This is 8 or 9, so that's not 8 or 9. This is now not 4 or 5, and that's not... So we've... Oh, hang on, I've just done that the wrong way around. I want this not to be 4 or 5. and this one to be 4 or 5. And this, okay, so this is now a 9. That's now an 8. That's okay, that's done something, hasn't it? Can't have 7 next to 8. I don't know whether that's on the path, though. It is in a cage that's gone up here. Oh, there's going to be loads we can do from this. Come on, Simon. What is it? 1. Where's 4 in this box? It's there. So this is 4, which means this has the same parity. This is 3 to link the 2 and the 4 together. These digits are a 1-2 pair now. And we probably are going to have to pencil mark the rest of box 5, I think. 1, 4, 5, 9. Now, 1 and 5 come out of there. So they're a 4-9 pair. And the 9 can't go next to the 8. So we're going to go 4, 9. These cells are 1 and 5, which at first blush looks quite good, actually, because we can just do the order. 5, 1, 1, 2. Now in this row we need 3 and 4. We can't put 3 here. There's no white dot beneath it. So that's 4, that's 4, that's 2, that's 3. That's no 3 in the corner, at least not down there. Now these are a 9 and a... don't know, actually. Oh, we can get this anyway. 2, 6, 7 along here. These digits are 1 and 9, which we know the order of. 1, 9. That's a 7 by Sudoku. Can't put the 7 next to a 6. There is no white dot, so that gets finished. This is now a 4 by the Phileas Fogg rule, or the fix rule, I should say. The 5 has gone here by the fix rule. So, all right, let's try this box up here. What can we do up here? We need 3, 7, 9 into those cells. We can't put 7 or 9 next to 8, so that's the 3. No 3 in the corner there. And the 3 is the fixed cell. So that is the purple one. And these digits are 1, 2, 6. Again, we've got to be careful with that. The 1 and the 2 need to be chaperoned. They're too naughty when they get together. So we're going to keep the 6 between them. The 6 can't go next to the 5 here. So now I've got a 5, 8 pair in box 2 out of nowhere. And this digit is a 1. And again, there's no total there. So it's going to be about the 2, is it? Yeah, that's lovely. 2 in column 2, in box 2 is not in those cells. It can't be in the cage by the rule. It can't be next to a 1 without a dot, so it's there. So that's 2, that's 1. We need 3 and 7. We've got to keep the 3 and the 7 apart. Oh, sorry, the 2 and the 3 apart, using the 7, I should have said, to be more precise. 4, 6, 9. Can't put 6 next to 7. 4 next to 3. If that was 9, that would be 8 on the dot, which won't work in the row. So that's 4. So this digit is now 5, because it can't be 3 by Sudoku. I feel like we're getting close. All we're going to have to do then is work out the path and then do the sum to find out whether Phileas won the bet, which I read somewhere. I think the bet... was the bet for like £2,000 or something back in there? But that was the equivalent at that time of I want to say £2 or £3 million. Anyway, come on, let's just try and get this done. How do we finish this from here? Let's try. We need 2 and 9, so we can finish off row 2. And we need 3 and 8. Well, we can't put the 8 next to 7. So 8, 3, 8, 5, 5, 4. We need 1 and 6 in column 2, which we can do. So the Sudoku is going to be finished. 9. Oh, there we go. The 1 is not in. The 1 is the purple. The 2 is the purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've done all of the fixed digits. And we've just got to finish off the puzzle here with a 4 and a 7. So we get a 7 there and a 4 here. And now the pièce de résistance is to work out the path. Now, white dots are always on the path. So there are some more white dots that I haven't used yet. There aren't that many, though. There really aren't that many. And there's the rule that says I've got to go through one fixed cell only and one cage cell only. I mean, I can see I could turn north here and sort of do that. That would be a way of doing it. No. Okay, so what we should do instead is look at this cage. Because the path at the moment is here. Now this path, I mean, I suppose you could have said, oh, it could loop down here to create a loop. Well, it could, but then it's going to create 2x2s in the bottom row if it goes all the way along the bottom row. So we know it doesn't do that. So we know this at some point turns north and then is going to turn west. Now when it turns west, what's going to happen? Can it avoid going through that blue cage? No. That's literally is an absolute wall of cage, isn't it? So the only cage cell that could possibly be visited in this puzzle is one of these blue cells, which means every other cage in this puzzle is firmly out of bounds. It is simply not on the path, which means it's green. Now there is certain... We can't go in there now, for example, because we'd never get out without touching a cage cell. It might be this one we're going to go through, the 2 here. It could be that one still, actually. Right, let's work this out. Which way do you think we're going to go? And do we go through the 2 or not? We can't go here because we're going to take a cage cell. We can't go there. Whoopsie. We can't go there. All of those are out of bounds. We can't go there without taking a cage cell. So in terms of which, could we take that one? No, because we'd take that one, so or that one, but either way. So the purple cell we're taking, I've limited it a bit now, and I know that I do take these 2 cells. And having got here, I couldn't go north because I'd have to turn back on myself. So from the 5, we know we're turning down. Now we know this 9 is out of bounds, or there'll be a 2x2. If I go up here, I have to turn and turn down. That's not going to work. So we do know that we do cross that junction. Oops. So we can do a little bit of tidying up of the path. If we went up now and into the 3, we'd either take a 2x2 or a second cage cell. So we don't go up, so we do go that way. We do go down here, just using the colouring that I've done. Nothing complicated. And I've now visited box 1, 2. I haven't visited box 3 yet. I think box 3 is the only one I haven't visited. And I know I'm going to have to. In fact, that's the point, isn't it? I'm in this cell. And I am in this cell at some stage on the journey. If I didn't just nip up here, and I instead tried to go along here, because I can't go into any of these green cells, I would have to take a 2x2. So I must just nip up there, and then I can't take this cell, because that would be a 2x2, so I must go up again. Now I can't take the cell above it, so I cross there, and we know that that's going to be a cross. So the path is actually forced. Yeah, and the fact that we know it goes into the 4 here, and it doesn't go into the 8 below it, and it doesn't go into the blue 8 because it's already taken its cage cell now, means we do slip through that white dot as well. And now if I go there... Yeah, I was just thinking about whether I could have turned down from that 7, but I couldn't have done. I would have taken a 2x2 or got myself into a pickle with a second purple. And if I go across there, I've got to take a cage. So basically, it is a very, unsurprisingly, it's quite a thin loop. It could have been a fat loop or a thin loop. I think it's a thin loop, and I still haven't taken a purple. And which purple can I possibly take now? It's going to have to be the 4. And how do I take the 4 without taking another cage cell? I've got to do that, and then I can't take a 2x2. So that is the path. We've done the path. Now, which cells are on the date line, though? 2. 2 of them are on the date line. Those 2. So now, right, now I think we've actually done all of the puzzle, but we don't know whether we've won the bet. So this is the final piece of the jigsaw. Right, let me just... Total days is the sum of the digits on the loop. And then, but we miss out, I think, any digit in a cell in which the path and the red line strictly intersect. So those 2. So we're summing everything else. So we've got 10 here, 20, 22 at the bottom. There's no rule about missing out fixed cells, is there? 22, 32, 37, 40, 47. We miss out the grey, so 51, 54. Ooh, it's close this. 63, 70, 77. 77, so I think he just gets back in time. Should we just read? Let me just think about that again. Is there any way in which I've overcounted or undercounted? Because the rules are fairly complicated here. Every cell needs a white crop key. I wasn't checking at the end whether I was breaching the crop key rule, because Sudoku seemed to be doing all the job for me, so hopefully that's all right. Fix cannot be... Yeah, I think... Okay, let's just do a quick recap of the numbers anyway. 18, 22, 23. So 23 there. 26. 33. 37, 40, 40 plus 15 is 55, 67, 77. I've got 77 twice. I'm prepared to... Yes. Oh, it should have said at the end, you won the bet. Oh, it didn't. I don't know. I mean, I think it was 77. And I think we've circumnavigated the globe just in time and used the date line a couple of times to reduce... Oh, I suppose that's quite interesting. If the date line hadn't gone into that cell, that would have taken us up... Yes, okay, so 77 plus 3 plus 1 is 81. So just as in the book, where the date line made the difference and allowed Phileas Fogg to actually say, I got there in time, even though he thought he hadn't. He thought he'd run out of days, but then the date line, Passepartout, that was his valet's name, wasn't it? Jean Passepartout. His valet pointed out they crossed the date line, so he had an extra day compared to what he thought. But here, we're using the date line has also been important to stop us breaching the 80. If those had both counted, we'd have been on 81 and we wouldn't have won the bet. So that is very thematically consistent, actually. Brilliant. It's a brilliant puzzle. Liam, very, very nice for your debut on the channel. I think that'll be very popular, especially with those people who either know the film or the book. I really enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.